Hey everyone, AmberFrmThVault here. Welcome to a brand new game. This is called Rogue State Revolution, and before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much to the publisher for giving me a copy of this game so I could go ahead and play it for you here on the channel. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump into this, and you may notice that, yes, continue game is highlighted. That means, yes, I have played a little bit of it before, but only about 15 minutes. As you can see there, version 1.3 notes. This was updated from the last time I played it, therefore I wanted to start over because 15 minutes in, I might as well start over. So we are going to go with Teach Me How to Play, but we do have three options here. Teach me how to play, I see the connections, and explain cryptocurrency to me, which I would like someone to explain cryptocurrency to me, but don't bother because people have tried and I still don't get it. I see the connections though makes me think of that Ryan Bergara, Shane Madej meme back when they were at BuzzFeed Unsolved. Where they're like, I see the connections, you don't see shit. I love that line. I gotta stop talking about memes though. So let's go ahead and do Teach Me How to Play. We're gonna leave pretty much everything the same, even though I would really like to click no pandemics, just because, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of done with pandemics right now, but we'll leave it the way it is, except for that I did turn on subtitles so we could have that. So let's go ahead and click next. And then here's my name. This is my name for the history books. I am Ms. Bowshaw. And we're going to go ahead and click start. So if you want to read this here, I would highly suggest you read the little loading screens here. Go ahead and pause the video. Absolutely worth reading, but I will not have enough time to read those to you. So we're going to go ahead and let that go by. All right, so here we go. The introduction sequence. Well, that ended badly. Somebody must have poisoned my tea. I bet it was that janitor. I see how he looks at me. Inauguration day again. This time I must do better.
In Basenji today, there is a mood of jubilation as thousands crowd the streets in celebration. The first ever democratic election in the People's Republic of Basenji is a success. 5 years ago, the monarchy was replaced by a transitional government. And now, finally, after great struggle, democracy has come to Basenji. For the first time in their turbulent history, both Basenji and ethnic Karifi are voting for a government of their choice. 12 political parties campaigned, representing a wide political spectrum, with the largest, the Basenji Nationalist Party, sweeping the election with 72% of the vote.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Sabriya. I have been assigned as your political strategist.
And I am Yusuf. I will be serving as your military attaché.
The first task before you is to appoint cabinet roles for representatives from across our great nation.
These are critical positions. Once appointed, cabinet members are constitutionally protected. They cannot be removed from office.
Indeed, you will be stuck with these ministers, for better or worse. I would advise you listen to their needs.
And I say look for loyalty. There will be hard days ahead. We will need a cabinet that is on our side, no matter what.
Excellency, it's time for us to form the government responsible for building Basenji's glorious future.
Yay! Alright, the people who will help me make decisions. Alright, so let's start with this. Alright, so we've got Aziz is a conservative secular gentleman who is frugal, but he is also cunning. Be careful what positions you award him because the second you take your eyes off him, he'll change the script if he believes it benefits his own ambitions. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. Alright, so next we've got Noor. Pious, but also tactless. So, loyalty of all other members will drop by 1% every 5 months if I hire this woman. Ugh, that's awful. Like, I'm sorry, but come on. Did you have to? Alright. It's hard to pick, so I'll be honest, I've been through these at least once before, and it's been hard to pick who I want in here. This is like the best guy in here is this guy, and Nadir, or Nader, as how we would say it with like the American accent, but I'm pretty sure it's Nadir. He is in poor health, so he's probably gonna die. Which sounds horrible, but that's pretty sad. I think he's probably the best choice though. Take a look here though at Adnan. Adnan is resourceful, but he's also a moron, which is my favorite thing, that they just totally listed this guy as a moron. I think that's amazing. Now, this guy I refuse to put in my cabinet. Suleiman is popular, but he's literally a social influencer who is the eldest son of a property baron, and he's very selfish. So yeah, no, we're not putting him in anything. Philanthropist, but she's also an addict, and I can't say I really like Medea. I'm a little nervous about the whole hooked on painkillers thing, especially because Minister will vanish for a few turns occasionally. No request can be fulfilled. No, thank you. Like, that sounds pretty awful. And then we have Tariq. So even though I don't necessarily love Tariq, simply because I lean more towards a liberal secular government myself personally. He is conservative religious, but he's also the only ethnic Karifi who's my option here, so I feel like I have to choose him. As you know, she very well points out, I can't show you guys, but as she's pointing out, you know, that he is the only one, so he really kind of fuels that idea of unity, not division. And I think that's important, especially because we're dealing with this whole like issue of having a minority, you know, like a minority group. So I think we just kind of don't have a choice. He's automatically our Minister of Finance. So I think that that's kind of where we have to go. So this really becomes difficult for me because I don't necessarily want this guy anywhere, because I don't want him using the Ministry of Development for his own like ideas. And it says alters policies in his ministry randomly without your consent. That sounds horrific. I would rather not. And then she makes everyone start to dislike me. He could die. This guy, unlock rate of new policies is significantly slower. He's just a jerk. I refuse to have him. Okay, these two I will not have in my government. I wish I could just throw them away. Like, throw away! Trash them! Okay, so that means we have these three. So, I have only... Do I only have one choice? No, okay, so I have two choices for each one. Good, good, good. This is hard to know who to put where, especially because I really don't want to use most of them. He annoys me. I really like you. I feel like you should be the Ministry of Defense and you should be Natural Resources, because if anyone's gonna screw anything up and be tactless, it could be you. My concern with him is that he's gonna make his own decisions and just ruin everything. I'm sad that I can't put him in development. I feel like he would be a much better Minister of Development. I don't want either of these guys. But these two are just... I mean, they're unspeakable. I can't have either of them. So it has to be either Aziz or Adnan. Which makes me sad about Medea, because if she wasn't an addict, I would love to put her in our government, because, you know, female empowerment. I wish I could just force you. You're going in the Ministry of Development. Transportation, health, education, and network. See, that's like such an important position. So I don't want her to screw it up. I definitely want him in defense. This is so frustrating. None of you are any good. You're a brat. I'm sure you're a great person, but you're also an addict that I can't trust right now. And I guess I have no choice but to choose him. I hate him, but I guess I don't have a choice.
Very good. Know that every 12 months you may appoint a new cabinet minister for an unstaffed ministry, should you choose to do so. More ministers mean more opportunities to do great things. And more people to keep happy. Excellency, while you get settled in your new office, I have scheduled your agenda for the next few weeks. Are you interested in hearing it?
Sure.
Most actions, aside from giving orders to units, cost a single action point. The number of action points available is equal to the number of ministers in our cabinet. Think of this as political capital to get things done. I've learned that our national power plant has not received a fuel shipment in weeks.
The connecting roads were made unusable during the Civil War.
By constructing a new road, oil will automatically be transported from the refinery to the power plant, and electricity can be restored to Basenji. Build roads by click-dragging a line between two buildings. Ensure both the power plant and the oil refinery are connected to the same road network.
Okay. So that's the oil refinery. And that's the power plant. Got it. Okay. So roads. How do I do that? This is where I kind of left off last time. How do I build roads though? I do not know what I'm doing. Was it? Wait, what? What did I just do? Oh,
Good
shit.
morning, Excellency.
By constructing a new road, oil will automatically be transported from the refinery to the power plant, and electricity can be restored to Basenji. Build roads by click-dragging a line between two buildings. Ensure both the power... Building roads costs 1 action point per month.
Got it.
Note that it is possible to both upgrade and bulldoze roads. Click on any road segment, including the one you just built, and select Upgrade in the road menu.
Got it. Okay, okay.
Manipulating the camera should be straightforward. In addition to moving the cursor, you can use the WASD keys to pan the map or click and hold the middle mouse button. The mouse wheel is used to zoom in and out. Zooming out of the map will help you see the big picture of Basenji.
Okay.
You can also
Sounds
rotate
good.
the map by clicking the rotation buttons, or by pressing Q or E. Finally, these buttons will immediately pan the camera to buildings of specific importance. Resource producers, power plants, and buildings that allow units to be recruited. That sort of thing.
Got it. Okay.
After the Civil War, the United Nations established aid camps to distribute food rations to our people.
Okay.
We must start to produce our own food and not rely on the UN. Constructing agricultural fields allows us to produce our own food for our people and have a new source of revenue to grow our treasury. Agricultural fields can only be placed on green terrain. From the right sidebar, click Construction. From there, choose the agricultural field. We will need to ensure that there is a working population available wherever we place them.
Okay. Whoa, it's weird to use the button in the middle there. I'm not used to using that. Okay. Construction, agriculture field. I'm used to playing other games, honestly. So, how do I know for sure that there's a population? Hopefully that works. And do I need to build
Over time,
roads?
Basenji cities will demand more than just food to stay content. Urban citizens who purchase these goods from our state-run producers put money back into our treasury. As food supply increases, you can dismantle a UN camp. I would suggest doing this only once every few months, because removing UN aid workers will come with a severe penalty to our diplomatic influence.
Okay.
For now, though, I think we can weather it. Click on a UN camp and dismantle it now.
Okay. That isn't where I built the...
We could spend funds and an action point to build a second agricultural field to support the anticipated growth in our city's demands next month.
Oh!
Alternatively, we could address the health crisis currently facing the province of Sabah. Constructing a regional hospital adjacent to a city somewhere in this province would provide immediate care for those wounded during the Basenji Civil War. Well done, Excellency. Thank you for putting your faith in me. You may have noticed that buildings consume both workers and power. Getting more power is a question of building more power plants. Getting more workers, however, is a much bigger problem. For now, it is prudent to spread your buildings out between your provinces, so you don't end up with a worker shortage.
Excellency, Sabria, apologies for the interruption. Our military is in a state of disrepair, and I must insist we address that sooner rather than later. Construct a military base, Excellency. This will be where all our military units are produced.
Okay. So I accidentally built a second agricultural field, not realizing that I also had the option to build a hospital. That is my fault. And I feel a fool. Okay, So we need to move forward because we've used up all our actions. Okay.
Good morning, Excellency.
Yusef, the local news is reporting something difficult to believe. An industrious shepherd appears to have hybridized a bunch of old cars to produce an armored bipedal tank.
I may have made a big mistake.
Why would anyone do that?
Because it's awesome?
I agree.
Hello? Can anyone hear me? I am stuck inside this armored bipedal tank and have lost systems control.
Although this is probably also a threat to our national security. Thankfully, we can use that military base to recruit some new troops and send them to disable it. We will need to train a military unit. All units have a role to play in combat, and it is for you to decide which unit to train. I would, however, suggest that you not train the SAM truck. It cannot attack ground-based units, including whatever that thing is. Order our troops to disable the civilian bipedal tank by first clicking on the unit, then click dragging a line to the target.
Excellency.
Ah.
Understood.
Okay. And then the news feed is just showing us. Aren't we gonna kill the guy though?
Outstanding. We have pulled the very frightened shepherd
Oh,
from the
okay.
wreckage.
Guess not.
Hopefully his insurance covers all the damage he caused.
Thank you. I spent so much of my time thinking about how to create a giant homemade walking tank out of old cars and recovered munitions. I never stopped to think if I should.
Yeah. Just like most of us.
Well, Excellency, this seems as good a time as any to introduce your ministries. This is where you set all the policies specific to our nation. Click on the Ministry of Finance for now.
Okay.
Setting our tax policy to regressive will increase our tax base if our people's prosperity is low. Our nation's liberals will absolutely hate this move, but maybe we can win back their trust in other ways. Set our tax policy to regressive now.
Why would I ever do this? Wealthier citizens pay a lower portion of their overall income as taxes to ensure the majority of the population pay for the majority of the services consumed. Earn more from taxes when average prosperity is low, less when average prosperity is high. Why the fuck would I do that?
Good. Let's check in now with the Ministry of Defense.
That's a horrible idea.
Over time, a minister will research new policies for our nation. If you keep them happy by fulfilling the requests they routinely bring to us, that research gets completed faster.
Okay.
The minister is of the view that we might be able to learn something from this bizarre incident with the armored walking vehicle.
Okay.
You can choose which policy opportunities a minister is going to research by clicking on it. Choose a policy opportunity for the Minister of Defense to research now. You can even choose that silly bipedal walking tank if it means that much to you, but will probably need a lot of cash and a secret facility if you plan on going down that road.
Okay. Interesting. One thing I did notice is the person who did the news in the beginning was like this waspy British guy, but it definitely gives me the impression that we're a majority Muslim country, which I thought was pretty interesting. Conscription, psychological warfare, laser, ground-based laser. There is a lot of things here. I would prefer that you do veterans
Ministers
benefits.
who are not given research priorities will create their own based on their personal interests. In fact, particularly belligerent ministers may do their own thing, regardless of what you say. We should suggest policy opportunities for the remaining 3 ministers to research now.
Okay. All right. So I would like you to look into wow, there are so many terrible ideas. There are so many terrible ideas. Wow, okay. Are we going to be bad? Look up workers' compensation. Am I gonna be a bad person? I'm so confused. Okay, I would like you to look up wind power. Too bad I'm crazy. Internet surveillance, privacy laws, Wow. Sorry, I guess I'm a little surprised. I just feel like a little surprised. How about electric charging stations? That sounds like a great idea.
Research will be conducted faster when the minister has a great deal of respect for you. Unhappy ministers may not do any research at all. Excellency, our economy is pretty stagnant right now, which will limit our opportunities to better this. Very good. I've got some more ideas on how we can increase our national treasury. A lot of things outside of our control can affect Basenji's monthly revenue. City growth, immigration, the price of commodities, our transportation infrastructure. So what you're looking at is our minister's best estimates based on a snapshot of the country as it stands today.
Lowering provincial expenses helps a little, but it will also take its toll on the general well-being of those provinces. But look at these ministry expenses. You may want to change some policies in the Ministry of Development later on. Ongoing unit maintenance costs are something to keep a close eye on as well. It's better to use a few units well than grow a bloated military.
Because we have a Minister of Finance, we also have the option of taking out loans in the forms of bonds or an IBRD loan. The interest repayment terms for these are not kind, so I wouldn't suggest doing this unless we were in a real emergency.
Inevitably, the best way for us to have nice things is to find resources and sell them. Later, we can use those resources to craft more valuable goods and sell them instead.
We may need to consider a few temporary provincial funding cuts until we get our economy jump-started. I'll leave it to you to decide where, but ultimately, I propose you cut just enough to establish a positive cash flow.
Okay. Well, that's going to be hard on me. I don't like cuts. Well, the first thing we could do is we can actually charge a realistic tax. I mean, I guess. I don't want to cut any of these things. What would I even cut? Wow, there's so much to think about. Whoa. I'm not gonna lie, my ADHD brain's just like, "Brah." Okay. Whew. I gotta think for a second. Alright. I don't quite know. So I'm just gonna take some things down. I guess we're gonna reduce subsidies. I don't know why. I just decided that's what we're doing.
We should create a surveyor unit to scout for new resources. Resources will eventually make it possible for us to sell more complex products for our cities. But for now, we can export these raw materials to a neighbor if the demand exists.
Cool.
Click on the palace at Mijimura by either finding it on the map or clicking on the palace fast access button at the bottom of the screen. From there, train a surveyor. Excellency, we have used up all our actions for this month. Let us reconvene next month.
Okay.
Good morning, Excellency.
Click on the surveyor you've just trained to reveal all the potential resources in Basenji. By exploring these sites, we can potentially uncover new resources for our economy. There is a possible resource deposit located on a tile not too far from his current location. Drag him to the nearest tile with the potential resource deposit. Note the black pin, and click Survey Adjacent Tiles from the Surveyor interface.
Oh, okay. So
Very
bring
well.
him over there.
Excellency?
And then survey adjacent tiles. Sweet.
Another oil deposit! Well, this is helpful. Not all resource deposits pan out, so sending surveyors across Basenji to check them all will be necessary.
Okay.
Let's build a new refinery on that oil deposit. Select one from the construction menu.
Okay.
Now our nation has 2 oil refineries. One is sending oil to our power plant. Perhaps we can sell the oil from this one to one of our neighbors. At least, while we don't have a demand for plastics yet in Basenji. Click on the diplomacy menu. Relations with those other nations we share a border with can be tricky. If we can maintain a strong, positive relationship, we can mutually prosper from expanded trade. If they grow to hate us too much, we may find ourselves invaded.
Ooh.
Our relationship will depend greatly on their interests, which are not immediately known to us. Spending intelligence on research is one way to better understand these interests.
Okay.
In addition to their relationship with us, these neighboring states also have their own internal stability to be concerned about. A collapsing neighbor means lots of refugees seeking asylum in our borders, in addition to other challenges to manage. Take notice as well of the 3 major powers interested in influencing the future of the region: the United States of America, the Russian Federation, and the People's Republic of China. If any one of these powers sees us as a threat to their interests, we may find ourselves in a war we cannot possibly win. On the other hand, if we can eventually improve our relations to the point where an alliance is achieved, the others may leave us alone.
I really love Chicanistan.
Let's see if any of our neighbors happen to have an interest in Basenji crude oil. Once they're on the phone, select Negotiate Trade, then make an offer to export oil.
Okay. Greetings, Excellency. My name is President Adela Azizi, I'm sorry, of the Public of Kalshara. Congratulations on your recent election. The people have chosen wisely by making you their head of state. Our 2 nations have a proud history of mutual cooperation, so please don't hesitate to contact me for anything you might need. All right, so negotiate trade. We're going to click oil. Don't forget to build a road. Okay, propose. We are pleased you are
Not bad
able...
at all.
Oh, I
We'll
didn't
need
get to
to make
read
sure
it.
there's a road connection between the oil refinery and the border checkpoint, or else our oil will never reach them and no money will be earned.
Okay, so now build roads. And I have to build a road all the way to there? Wait, where was there? I don't even know where there was. Just for the hell of it. I'm sure I don't have to build a road all the
Surveyors,
way to there, but
facilities
just in
inspectors,
case.
and clerics can consume an action point to double their movement distance. Keep this in mind if you find yourself with extra action points.
Excellency, we have used up all our actions for this month. Let us reconvene next month.
Okay. Oh, I thought I clicked it. I guess I didn't.
Good morning, Excellency.
Excellency, Sabria, apologies for the interruption. Again. Intelligence reports that a small contingent of rebels and dissidents calling themselves the Basenji Liberation Front are on the move toward what's left of that armored bipedal vehicle.
The Basenji Liberation Front? They're a small union of various interest groups with the united goal of destabilizing our democracy and removing you from power. What could they want with a pile of metal junk in the deep desert?
Regardless, reports indicate they are armed and we must respond with force, Excellency. If the public feels we can't keep them safe, we may end up playing right into the insurgents' agenda. Our units start fiercely loyal to our regime, Excellency. Just be aware that the military is looking for you to make smart decisions. Sending units on suicide missions, making poor choices, and making our nation into a laughingstock may result in our soldiers doubting your leadership and side with the enemy. Every unit can only attack once per month, and we're anticipating at least a couple targets. We may need to field more troops. Eliminate the BLF units before they are able to reach the wreckage.
Okay, so we're gonna need more troops.
Excellency,
So...
on our way. Excellency, understood.
Oh no! Okay.
Excellency.
I don't know why my infantry
Excellency.
wasn't shooting them.
On our way.
I must have not told them to actually shoot them.
Excellency, understood.
Excellency.
Can they not?
For Basenji.
Oh, because we don't have any action points left. Okay. Oh!
Good morning, Excellency. Every unit can only attack once per month, and we're anticipating at least a couple
Excellency.
targets. We may need to field more troops.
Understood.
Eliminate the BLF units before they are able to reach the wreckage. Great work, Excellency. It would be prudent to have forces spread throughout the nation to address whatever threats may come our way.
That was insane! Okay, so we need a new... Where was military? Oh my god, we need another military base. I just destroyed it!
Excellency, as important as our national defense is, I will show you how to stay in power by balancing the differing interests of liberals and conservatives, religious and secular citizens, even urban and rural populations.
Okay.
Let's start by examining how we are doing, province by province.
Oh, thank God.
Click on Banifa in the right sidebar.
I'm so glad someone's going to explain
The
this
upper
to
graph
me.
shows your current approval levels in Banifa by demographic over the past 10 months. If they get too displeased with you, the rebels will be emboldened. The lower graph shows that province's ratings for prosperity, education, health, safety, the environment, and entertainment. Keeping these from getting too low in all 5 provinces is going to be crucial if you want the people to stay content. In many provinces, our environmental ratings are falling. A few are getting particularly low. Let's talk about what we can do about that. Traffic congestion can restrict the flow of goods, and more importantly, drag down your regional, and most of the roads are tinted green. It appears the traffic is not currently a bottleneck for us. If too many industries export goods on the same roads, you will eventually want to upgrade those roads by clicking on the road segment and pressing the Upgrade Roads button. So let's consider what else we can do to improve our environmental rating.
Okay.
At the provincial level, you can increase funding to conservation, but this will increase your treasury expenses every turn. We could also construct a nature preserve or public gardens to improve your environmental rating, which have a larger one-time cost. At a nationwide level, we can make some policy changes. They might not cost us any money, but they will likely result in other trade-offs for consideration. In the Ministry of Natural Resources, we can ration power and sacrifice our entertainment rating in all provinces for our environment rating. We can also change our governing principles from an exploitation perspective to a stewardship perspective.
That's more me, honestly.
There is no one way to accomplish anything. The choice is yours as to how you want to proceed. You are the glorious leader.
Well, thank you. Okay, that definitely does seem more like me, though, wanting to be more focused on, like, positive things. Nature preserve. Can I build those? Do people like those? I love those. That's my thing. Ah, can only be built in grasslands. I mean, do people like them, though?
Good. It will take time to see the results of these improvements. So, as a longer-term goal, I would suggest you think about building more agricultural fields, a plastics factory, and a manufacturing plant with a view to getting processed food production online before your citizens start to demand it.
Okay.
Notice the resource production and demand icons in the right sidebar. These are the 5 products that cities may grow to demand over time. The left number under each product represents how much you are producing at present, minus any products consumed in order to produce other products.
Okay.
The right number represents how much of that good is demanded by our cities at this time. It's possible for us to produce more than what is demanded. When this happens, consider exporting the surplus to a friendly neighbor. This is how we make money. Tax dollars will not be enough. We need to start building production chains to manufacture processed foods, household goods, consumer electronics, and luxury goods. Sell them to our neighbors at first with trade agreements. Then, when urban citizens start to demand them here, we will sell to our own people as well. Processed food should come first. Hold the mouse over the processed food icon in the right sidebar. Processed food is going to require more farms, more oil refineries, a plastics factory, and a manufacturing plant. We will also need them all connected by roads. Thankfully, we already have extra oil that we're exporting. If you construct a plastics factory and a manufacturing plant and connect them to the road network, the oil will automatically be diverted to plastics production while you send our surveyor to seek out new deposits.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching me play Rogue State Revolution. If you would like to see more of this game, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. And thank you so much to the publisher for giving me a copy of this so I could go ahead and play it for you all here today. We're going to go ahead and get out of here, but if you'd like to see more of my stuff, go ahead and click on the right-hand side of the screen there. There should be a random playlist and something YouTube thinks you'd like. There should also be a picture of my big dumb head. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, you can go ahead and click that. Click on the bell icon if you'd like to be notified every time I post a brand new video. In the center of your screen there are some Twitter handles. If you go ahead and check those out, those are all of my patrons currently over on Patreon. Those are the people who make this channel happen. Thank you so much to all of those people. If you could, go ahead and drop them a like, give them a follow, tell them how wonderful they are. I would really appreciate it. Also, if you'd like to become a patron or learn more about what those patrons are receiving for being patrons at the channel, go ahead and click in the lower left-hand corner there. Something about bonus content, bonus videos, that's all over on the Patreon, so you're going to have to go look there to find out. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here, so I'll see you in the next one.